That's still her last name.
I'm still married.
Have you remarried yet?
Not yet.
And Katherine, did you keep your last name?
I did.
Katherine.
I'm a modern woman.
She's a feminist.
Kat's giving very Donna from that 70s show vibes today.
Thank you.
Before she went blonde and evil.
Thank you.
Because she wouldn't take Eric's ring.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the first thing, I think, jumping right into it, when I watch the slop shows, we're talking about the Married for Lewis. Will you tell about that? What's that? Lewis, swing it over. We're dealing with microphone issues. It worked last time when we were here days ago recording a different podcast.
Okay.
Look at his shirt.
Okay.
I'm wearing a different shirt.
I watch those shows, so I have a lot to say.
What's
so do I,
a slop
but
show? What's a slop show?
Just like stuff you feel bad watching.
Oh, the good stuff.
Lewis, did you not apply for one of these shows once?
Oh, thanks for dropping me in it. Yeah, I applied for Love Island once.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No way! I love that.
Oh, it's like like
Embarrassing.
2018.
That's not
like
embarrassing, that's
2017,
sick.
2018.
That's the best
When
thing
I was
I've ever
single, I
heard.
was going to try and go on The Bachelor, but I would have had to be vaccinated.
I encourage him to go on like Married at First Sight UK now. Mystery Producer X knows all about these shows too, so don't let him tell you that he doesn't.
No, they're good stuff.
Just like to say, completely disavow my intention or whatever I was thinking at the time. Totally different bloke. Exactly. And that's...
I just need to add some context because that show, it's just a bunch of people shaking their asses
it's
and
disgusting.
making out. It's so depraved and wonderful.
For all the shows, it's the most
It's the worst,
disgusting.
yeah.
So
But I tell him to go on like Married at First Sight UK and stuff openly as like a conservative, because I think if you put conservatives on that show, it would be so much more entertaining. Those types of shows.
Why not something like Love is Blind then, where people usually are a bit more open about their
Which one's
faith?
that?
That's the one where they can't see each other and they talk through
And they
a
actually
wall.
get
Same
married
thing
in
as
many
Married at First
relationships.
Sight.
Get married.
Married at First Sight, they just meet and get married.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, but
slop.
in this one they
Yeah.
like build like they build like a foundation. They reveal their deep dark secrets. They talk about their values.
Sounds like an ad.
Cameron and what's her face just had a baby.
Exactly. Many
Oh
of
my
them are
God.
still married.
What an immediate regret podcast this is. I was going to ask though,
I can't believe you dropped me in that.
the more of
I love
we could
it.
just bleep it out the whole
No,
time
I
we say
love
that.
it. This is so fun.
No, it opens up a whole new side of you, Lewis. It's
Yeah.
great. I would do it too. Like when you're young, why not?
Yeah, I would do
Before
it.
you have morals, like
So
seriously.
all what I've noticed on these shows is it becomes more and more not just normalized for these women to have obscene plastic surgery, but it can never be addressed. I want to know from a woman's perspective, like, is that a thing where like we just can't talk about, who Darcy and Stacy are, right? These wide faces with the facelifts where their faces are 20 feet wide. And now you see all these women who are like 25 on these shows and they all look 50. They would look good for a 50-year-old, but they're 25 and they have like they can't move their face. To quote Tucker Carlson, what is that?
Are they Americans, the women you're referring to?
no, probably Brits.
Australians and Brits for the
yeah.
most part.
Yeah, I do find that like British women and American women tend to look older for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Like in America, I honestly think it's the food quality. Like genuinely, I think it's their chicken or something because they look old as hell, and I'm like, bro,
all the
Canadians are out
corn.
here looking young and fresh. And
Are we
beautiful.
allowed to say what age bracket you two are in?
20
22?
to 30?
Oh my
20
God.
to 30.
So anyways, people who are Lewis's age or my friend's age, we watch these shows and we're like, they look really old. Like, we'll guess like 45 or 47. And
Well,
they'll be
that's
like,
just ridiculous.
I'm 32. And it seems really strange. Like, I don't know if it's they're getting stuff put in their face that you can't really tell that ages them or whatever it
For
is.
sure. Like
Yeah.
getting Botox and fillers too young, they say it's preventative, but actually it will age you substantially.
I think a little Botox is different than fillers. Fillers will actually like slow your face down
No, but
so
if you-
much where you're now you smile and now everything's
Doesn't
like
mean she's
moving.
got Botox.
No, I
No, I
mean,
have
if you-
Botox. I had Botox when I turned 30. I did.
mean, if you get Botox when you're like 23, not when you're like actually
I just
like
think like
gonna lose
if you
collagen
get
in your
like a
face.
single needle here versus like doing your whole face.
I know, but you're still producing collagen in your 20s.
Maybe.
So you don't need it. Like
Yeah.
you don't need Botox in your 20s.
Maybe.
There's no such thing as like
Some people do.
preventative. Yeah, well,
So why can't you say this about, like, why won't these women acknowledge that they've got so much work done?
I think the problem
It's like a mental illness.
One thing that's really interesting to
Body
note, though, is like
dysmorphia.
it's not even just like these women. It's like celebrities are going in and like getting plastic surgery, and somehow they come out looking botched. But like a woman goes to Korea, and Korean women don't look botched at all, and they're all out there getting noses and like plastic surgery.
They're getting noses.
You know what I mean, though? Like they're getting work done there, and none of them look botched. But these like rich women in Hollywood are going in and they're coming out looking like Frankenstein. It's so bizarre. Like, what's going on there?
Lewis, would you... One question. First of all, would you ever get work done? Secondly, no?
No,
Men
it's not my
should
thing.
not
No,
get work
I don't think
done.
men ever should.
No, I
unless
totally
they've had
agree.
like an injury or like a burn.
I spoke to the Scottish bagpiper, Robin Bagpipes, and he said that, women in Scotland are really into the yellow face and the gut showing look. Is that still a thing in England? Is this something you're legally allowed to talk about?
Probably not. No, because that's mean, and the government doesn't like mean things.
That's true.
I
What is
do
Lewis's
notice that.
ideal woman, do you think? What did you just say? Ew.
No, that's I have an actual question.
Did not say
I was wondering, like, when I watch those dating shows, a lot of the British girls, I find they try to look like Spanish or something. They all have like really dark
tan?
hair, really, really tan, and like big lips.
They
And
also wear
what
a lot of makeup.
Yes.
Oh, the lips.
A lot
good
and they're
God.
gorgeous, but they would. I feel like they would be prettier if they just did like an English thing, like pale skin, little
Like
freckle
Diana.
action. Yeah,
Princess
soft.
Diana.
Oh,
What
that
is
one.
that? What is that cultural thing? And I know the term chav. Is that it? Is that it?
That was a thing.
Yeah. Is that still a thing? Because
you
those
need
girls, they still have.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
You just swing it.
Yeah, chav was a thing for a while, but I think that was just to demonize, white working class girls and
You think it was
boys.
purposely?
Yeah, that was a phase where it was like, it was a different time.
So do you notice that? Is that just the girls I see on TV, or is
Yeah,
that like
no, I
how you
noticed
walk
that.
around and you see all these like lips and hair?
It depends on what circles you run in, I guess.
What circles do you run in, Lewis?
Right wing circles.
Okay, and what do they look like?
Yeah, they're pretty.
Nice.
They're really
Soft.
well dressed,
Nice.
elegant. Like
Okay.
they know, they've got like, they carry themselves very well. I think I don't know. I think ideology plays a big part in looks and. Like
I don't know what she's laughing
Let's
at.
talk.
Yeah, I
It's
think
so hard for her.
I think there's like a different. Why have you gone red? No, I think yeah. It obviously depends on what circles you run.
So
by,
it's just the
but-
girls that I'm seeing on like Love Island.
Yeah, and that's like influenced by
Yeah.
TikTok, social
Right.
media. I think we're a very conscious people now, especially with fast internet.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us we're in our 30s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Yes, she is.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
36. I'll just
Cool.
say it.
So-
I'll say it.
So
for you.
I know.
So
thank
our
you.
generation is very much like it was that 1 foot in, 1 foot out between fast internet and going outside.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that things have become more terminally online, it's not magazines anymore, it's not commercials anymore, it's social, because we're all very social creatures and we each have social ladders that we unconsciously like climb. Women, it's very much, I've seen a study, I think I was telling you about this the other night. There's a study on women, particularly women having intrasexual competition, but they don't consciously know that they're having these competitions. And so there was a study done on hair salons and women hairdressers, and I think it was a pool of however many women would go and get a haircut, but because of intrasexual competition, they found that the majority of women going for these haircuts were having their hair cut shorter because the women,
Or telling them it looks good.
it looks good, it reaffirms, them as like, I don't know, beauty or, they're beautiful and things, but it's all to do with competition.
Can we confirm or deny that you are purposely trying to ruin other women?
I don't do that, but I've
would
had
never
it
do
happen
that.
to me for sure. I've tested a friend of mine once, and I was like, "Should I
Okay.
cut my hair?" 'Cause
I tested her. That's
'cause
normal too.
Our friendship was on the rocks, and she had always done these little games with me, and I was like, I know what she was gonna say. I was like, "Should I cut all my hair off? Should I just cut it all off?" And she's like, "Yeah, you'd look so good." And I was like,
To be
"You're
fair,
a problem."
some girls are pretty enough to
Of
pull
course,
off
and I've had
both.
short hair, and I really liked it, but it wasn't because like someone told me to do it. And I do think like we've talked about this a lot, Nat and I, where
Yeah.
there is a difference between like dressing for a man and dressing for women. Like, for example,
That's wild, by the way.
my shirt is not something I would wear on a first date. I don't think this is the
I
sexiest
would.
shirt. Yeah, sure, you would. Depends on who it's with.
He's got
Okay,
he's got
yes,
his
the study.
facts. FAX.
FAX. So
Just
this
move
is
the bottle.
Sorry. So this is a mainstream study from Science Direct. It says, off with her hair, intrasexually competitive women advise other women to cut off more hair. And so it says, women use competitor manipulation as a form of intrasexual competition. Highly competitive women advised hypothetical salon clients to cut off more hair. Women told clients of similar attractiveness as themselves to cut off the most hair. Female intrasexual competition may be assortative with respect to mate quality, and female intrasexual competition manifests without any contextual cues to mating. So it's basically showing the rivalry between women subconsciously when, and like I was saying earlier, we're from a time where it was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. The competition between mates was like to try and get yourself a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It was very much you go out to a bar or you go to places, you play out as you used to do or
We'll
whatever.
get to that term, I think.
Well, no, I was a lot younger, to be fair. But when you were trying to, you know, find yourself a nice partner, whoever you are, it was very much physical, as opposed to now it's very online. So the competitiveness, I think, is changed drastically. So now you're seeing intrasexual competition mostly manifesting itself in the physical, but it's derived from being so online and this sort of
So what's that doing to the hair? Like
cutting it short.
They're cutting it shorter so you look uglier.
Right, but
Yeah.
is that like we're cutting our hair shorter now because we're online more than we used to?
Well, I'd say that there's more intrasexuality, like there's more
There's more competition
Competition
probably
in your
because you're
face.
competing against everyone on the internet. It's like the
Yes,
same with
and
jobs
that's a
and
massive
everything.
pool
Yeah,
of people.
yeah.
So
I
you're
get that.
competing with women in Canada, in America, all the way in Europe, and how
I
people.
think that's true for some women. Like Nat and I were
Sure.
literally just talking about this exact thing a moment, like while we were outside, where
we were
a
trying to
girl's
break
girl-
in.
We were trying to break into the building. Are you a girl's girl or not? Like if Nat was saying that she has a coworker, you can tell the story.
Like
But
girl
you had a coworker
code
with
or
something on her
something?
face.
Well, yeah. So I knew a girl. Whatever. I was in this situation with
Mm.
two women, and one girl had chocolate on her face, and I was like, "Well, someone has to tell her."
Yeah.
And I know the other girl had seen her before
Had
me,
the opportunity.
had the opportunity to tell her, and didn't. And I was like, "Hey, I love you. You're beautiful, but you got chocolate all over your damn face."
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So like Nat in that situation proved that she is a girl's girl because she's not going to let her friend walk around with chocolate on her face. So I believe Nat would also not encourage that girl to cut all her hair off because she's not
she did,
competitive
but
with her.
she's super hot.
No, and you can have short hair and be beautiful. Like
Okay.
I had a pixie cut back in the day, and guess what? Men always say, "Oh, they don't like that hair." It didn't stop me at all. Okay, it was not a problem. However, I think some women, and I know those women, would have a problem and not tell you have chocolate on your face. Because I was telling you this too. When I was 12, I was in that situation, and I was the bad guy where I didn't tell the girl that she had the proverbial chocolate on her face. And at that moment, I was like, "Oh, I'm the bad guy here." I didn't take the opportunity to be a girl's girl. So that was the last time that happened to me, and I will forever make the right decision. But I do think it's a personality thing. It's not just like all women are intersexually competitive with each other.
Of course, it's never all.
Yeah, of course. But I think it's not just like a thing. It's like, are you happily married? That'll help. Like, are you in a relationship that...
People are less likely to get married now until later on because of income. I think because of various factors, not just income, but we'll stick with income, not to get too spicy. You know,
Like
just got...
being gay? Is that what it
No. Like,
There's so many
more
quiz.
scientific factors, right?
Oh, right, okay. The gooch stretching of the
What?
Okay, wait.
Off camera, but
why? The
producer X keeps putting it on my face.
is that what he's putting?
Change camera.
The plastic in people, the plastic poisoning, essentially, we're getting into very medical territory.
Oh,
Joe
God.
Rogan talks about it, okay? So it's not a lie.
A credit card size every year, right? Or something?
Yeah,
You
something
have a
like
credit
that.
card
What
size
are we
amount of
talking
plastic
about?
in your brain?
Basically,
I don't know what he's talking about.
the chemicals in the plastic make it so the
Oh, your
male
taint is shrinking.
Exactly.
Right.
And
That
then
book, Countdown.
deregulates the
Yes, yes,
temperature,
yes.
which makes your sperm not viable.
Right.
Is that
All the
correct word?
microplastics and the phthalates
Oh,
in
yeah,
our
no, so,
in our system
like,
is
other
shrinking our
people
Was
gooches.
that too gritty for you guys? We're not able
No,
to take that.
you just
No,
said the
people
word
have been
gooch
talking
out of
about-
context.
No, but I think like when Candace Owens had like her old show on like PragerU, she had someone come on and they were even talking about how like the chemicals we use for cleaning products are like lowering testosterone levels and all of that. It was,
No,
it was
that's
many.
everything
big
is
time.
poison. Everything is poison. You just have
Yeah.
to literally the term pick your poison.
Wasn't one of them even like beer affects testosterone? But
No.
right there you go.
Never.
Sorry.
Lewis has a big problem with estrogen.
Yeah, no, beer
He hates
has a massive like increase in estrogen levels, and so too much consumption of beer can raise it, and that's why like dudes can get like moobs like very quickly
Moobs.
from drinking
I gotta
beer.
unload all my English questions on you. Let's talk about Geordies. No, he needs that for a second.
Oh, sorry.
The Geordies. Now, in the shows, this is people from Newcastle, England, in the shows.tm, they are portrayed, of course, as disgusting. But I have a theory.
What are Geordies?
People from
Context.
Newcastle that are basically like, they're super loud, they're going out, they're tashing on. Basically, they go to the club a lot and have lots of.
So they're Scousers, not from Liverpool.
Pretty similar.
But I feel like those people would probably be, in this day and age, way easier to get along with because they're so open and honest about themselves
Yeah, they're great.
than like a super left wing, snob.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think you're just
absolutely.
talking about authenticity.
Perhaps I am.
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
that's really the grit of it, isn't it? Like, it's same with the plastic surgery. It's like, what are you doing to your face? Just be authentic. Like, if you don't have the fullest cheeks or the biggest lips, just be yourself. Like, we don't all have to be the same, and you don't have to fake who you are. And it's literally the same thing. It's like, just be authentic. If you're a drunken hoe, just do it. Like,
And it's like I'm sure
Well-
you girls have I'm sure you girls have heard like or seen people on like I prefer a natural girl and
Yeah,
things
we
like
love that.
Yeah,
They're-
yeah.
So there's a tweet. There's a tweet that I saw this morning. I don't know who this man was.
Oh,
but
no, I saw it.
He talked about how
His wife.
doesn't wear a lot of makeup, and in the photo that he posted of him and her together, she is wearing a
Full beat.
shit ton of
You
makeup.
can confuse men though. Like
No,
there
she's
are
wearing
ma-
blue
it is-
eyeshadow.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
her eyeliner is like it's there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not wearing a lot of makeup right now.
Yes.
Like
but you're
you know,
wearing some, and I think
Yeah,
men don't
exactly.
even know
Correct.
Right.
what
Some-
that looks like.
Sometimes you can't tell. And so I have to be told, no, that person's wearing a lot of makeup. However, what's with the shininess thing?
What do you
Neither
mean?
of you, especially. So the last time I did Streeters in Toronto, all the Korean
Oh,
girls had
highlighter.
extremely shiny faces.
Oh, well, maybe they just have oily skin.
No,
I
what-
run oily.
Is it
It's
like
a-
silver, like metallic, like data?
It makes them look shiny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called highlighter.
yeah,
Why
it's
is it called-
highlighter.
But I thought that was out.
No, I know. But I
Is it?
remember a few
This was
years
probably
ago
like
they used
2
to have
years
like
ago.
I call it the
the
Rudolph
nose.
nose, where it was
Yeah.
like a beam of
Like the
light
Ariana Grande,
shining
like-
off their nose. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
A beam of light shining
Yeah.
off their nose.
Well, it is. It's crazy because you're trying to make your nose look more narrow, so
Yeah.
you put bronzer here
Right, isn't
to
that
darken
contouring?
it.
Yeah, but
Yes.
contouring's been out
But
for
hi-
many years.
Yeah, yeah. It's no touring.
The thing that's really interesting about like what's happening in plastic surgery right now too, though, is I think there's going to be a shift because the Kardashians are not cool anymore. They are not cool, and they
'Cause
have
they're
been influenced.
50.
Well, it's not just that, but even the young ones, they've been influencing women for like over 2 decades, and
That's
now
awful.
exactly, and it's yeah,
Imagine
it's ghastly.
if everybody
but
just wanted to look like Tucker Carlson, or I want to look like JD Vance, and all the men just start dressing that way, or like in a Trump like 7-foot long tie. Lewis is saying he does want to look like JD Vance.
No, like with Tucker as an example. I mean,
He dresses normally. I'm
he
just saying.
Yeah, he would have like the same shirt sometimes, but he just see it as I'm not a materialist. Like I like these shirts and I'll just wear them.
My
and that's
point
kind of
was
like
that
That's
we
the
don't
kind of
mentality.
just a man thing. though.
Yeah.
Emulate the fashion of
Post
some guy.
35, I would say, or 30, I guess, for a man.
I'm just saying we don't just emulate the fashion of like a guy or like 3 guys.
I don't.
You're
I
also
don't-
not teenagers though, because have you been to a high school lately? They
No.
all I used to live right beside. Like
She
near,
frequents the high school looking
I
for
lived
men.
near a high school, and they would walk by my house to the grocery store for lunch. And every single high school boy has what I call the broccoli, which is like super
Yeah, that's
tight
stupid
fade, and
hair.
then like they get perms.
Ah.
The young men are getting perms, and some of them don't
Yeah.
have
It's
the
not happening
texture
in
to
Toronto.
support it.
I
This is
saw-
Yeah,
outside.
it's
This
a
is the
burb thing.
outskirts.
It's a burb thing, I guess. But they all have the same exact hairstyle, and I'm like, it's because being a teenager, and I think like it demands conformity, and I think what you're talking about is teenage girls. Like 30-year-olds don't dress like Kardashians.
But with fashion in general, though, men don't have to play the fashion game as much as women do. Like, you go to a store,
have to,
but it's just like there's more trends in women's fashion. Like men, like nothing is ever out of style in men's fashion. Maybe like, you know, Trump's tie, but whatever. He can still wear it because his suit jacket fits him well. It's tailored. It's classic. Like, whereas women's clothes are made out of like polyester and all these like synthetic fabrics. Because
you guys do this to yourself.
You're right.
Well, I agree because
right.
yeah, that's fair because women are consumers.
Yeah.
I'm a consumer.
But
because men are also not
but
like
men don't
visual.
Buy, but
like
men
they're
buy
visual creatures. We're not visual creatures. So like we don't care what they look like.
But it's also like men will buy a shirt and they can wear that shirt until they're dead because because it's well made, and it's timeless. Whereas women can't do that.
We could.
Does
but
this
it's
not really though, because what is classic?
You don't look fashionable.
You know, like if I bought my $400 skinny jeans 10 years ago, I shouldn't be wearing them now.
No, you should not.
Is this not also women sabotaging each other? You got to wear this now, but in 6 months you can't wear that, or else I'm going to give you shit for it.
Yeah.
It is intersexual competition.
I just wear whatever I want and I don't care.
No, but you just said you do because you don't want to wear skinny jeans. Like I agree.
Well,
I'm not
wear
walking
skinny
away
jeans because I don't think they look good on my figure.
We'll
Lewis
see. We'll see in 10 years what happens.
Did you go through a skinny jean phase? You were an emo boy.
Yeah, I was an emo kid.
Did you have like the colorful ones, like the Jonas Brothers?
Yeah.
Colorful ones. I think I had red.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I had red,
Lewis.
but it was mostly black.
Dude, you're
I
wearing
dressed
skinny
in
jeans right
black.
now.
These aren't jeans, first of all, and they're called pants that currently fit. which there are.
These are chinos, aren't they?
I don't even
Those
know
aren't
what those are.
chinos. No.
Yeah.
Pants that currently fit are this, another pair of pants I wore yesterday, and sweatpants.
I do feel like as a man, like that's
That's
hit
a
his
man,
30s.
man.
As a man that's just hit his 30s, your whole outlook kind of changes when it comes to things like how you present yourself, your fashion, things like that. Not to get way too deep about it, but I think you just hit an age where you go, actually, I don't want to dress like I was 16 anymore, or like in your 20s. Every now and then you have like a long baggy shirt or whatever, and you wear it, maybe just going down the shop or you
Yesterday
know,
I did say
wherever,
maybe
but-
I should start wearing a do-rag. Who's going to stop me? The Indian guys? Excuse me, maybe I should. Excuse me, sir. You should not be wearing this do-rag.
I'm getting arrested on the way back. just
I
saying,
know
for
someone
that
who
one.
wears a do-rag because he's bald, and it actually I didn't realize that hair is a sponge. So if you are bald, you don't have that sponge, and if it's hot and you're sweating, your sweat will just drip down your
just
face.
go down.
That
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why
not
you
cool
get
with
like
that.
greasy
Armpit
hair.
Like
yeah.
it's there to
Well, I wouldn't
catch.
know, but yeah.
You guys aren't earthy like that?
Not
No,
that
you're not
granola.
hippie.
No.
It's like a new thing.
Laser.
Hairless. Yeah.
No, but it's a maturity thing for sure. Like I used to want to be like everyone else, and now I can only. That sounds horrible to me. Like everyone else,
And that's
like
the
a
thing.
teenager. That sounds horrible.
And that loops back to
The shirt.
It loops back to the pool of wanting to. The social ladder has become so big now. You're competing with people from across the Western Hemisphere now. It's not just your own little subculture in a tiny little town in England. It's now America.
It's not just
you
the
know,
lads
it's
down at the Crawley
Canadian.
pub, it isn't.
Yes,
It's the
there's that.
pubs in Leicester and South Derbyshire.
Okay, but wait. Do we think though that this
Derbyshire.
is, but this competition within the female community, would we say that this is only indicative of single women? Because as a married woman, like I don't really feel that pressure at all. Like I don't care.
So long as you know that, so long as you're secure in the idea that your husband does find you attractive.
Yeah,
And he
I
doesn't
guess.
care if my jeans are stylish. So if I'm dressing, in stylish
my
jeans,
husband
it's for
is
myself.
very well dressed.
Your husband might not care though. He wouldn't be like,
No.
"Oh, I don't find you attractive because your jeans aren't
No,
stylish."
he's
But he would
obsessed
be
with
like,
me.
"Yes, of course he
Yeah.
is. I've seen it." But he would be like, "Oh, like those are cute jeans."
Yeah.
Maybe he wouldn't
No,
say
I
that,
wouldn't
but he
say
would say
that.
those are nice. Like he
I
would
would say you
notice you
look
got new
nice.
jeans. My husband wouldn't notice if I got new jeans, except for his.
No, Seb would
credit.
notice if I
Uh-oh.
got Seb would notice if I got new
Uh-oh,
jeans
Lewis.
because I would tell him though. I would be like, look at my new jeans, love them.
Yeah.
Trouble
I
in the
hide-
marriage doesn't
No,
say when
it's-
she's wearing nice jeans.
No, that's not what
That's
I said. It's
not
if I
what
got
she
new
said.
jeans, and he wouldn't say those are stylish jeans. Those are in style jeans.
What would he say?
He would say your asshole's banging.
Well, actually, to be
That's
fair,
sexist, unnecessary.
I know I
Within the confines of a marriage.
Wait a minute, though. I know I was shitting on skinny jeans, but technically, no jeans are out. It's just, why are you wearing them?
We didn't get into Lewis's outfit as much as we needed to when he was an emo. So red jeans. I've seen pictures. I don't
Did you
know
wear
if I have
eyeliner?
one.
Did you have an ear piercing?
No.
I had both done.
Nice.
You can see it.
Well, now I can. I wasn't looking before.
So-
How can we get our fingers through them? Okay.
So red jeans.
I started stretching my ears when I was young.
He
too.
had the emo haircut.
Yeah, I can
And
see
then
that.
this was at what age?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not a bad thing.
I think I was like 15, and then until I was 19.
Good God.
maybe.
And when did you
Yeah.
get into, did you go to school for your previous job, if you're okay with mentioning that? You've mentioned it before.
Did I go to school in my previous job?
For your previous job.
What do you mean?
Did your previous job require education in
no.
order to acquire it? Holy shit, this
Yeah,
guy.
no. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Was that just? Was
That's
that
just
me
because it's
then?
20
Is that-
times a day with this guy.
It is true.
I said
You guys
earlier,
sound
Sorry,
like an
what were
old
we
married
talking
couple.
about?
earlier I said, sit right here, Lewis. And he's like, oh, in this seat. I'm like, no, the other fucking seat.
Because usually you're referring to
Could
your own
be.
lap, so he just
Yeah,
wanted to
well
clarify.
played.
I
if it
need
was
to
like-
clarify.
we were-
I just go rogue sometimes.
So you didn't need to go to school for that. I'm just saying,
No.
like, were you emo up until you had that job?
Oh right, no, I chopped.
You
and
could have just
changed.
asked it that way too.
Yeah, it literally could have been a
Yeah,
lot
you could have
easier.
just asked.
Oh, I wanted to
When
know if
did
you
you
went to
stop
school
being
for
I'm
it.
actually
emo?
starting to think
Was it
because
for
I
the
thought, is
job?
this a cultural barrier? But now
I'll
that I have
host,
you
I'll
two
host.
here backing me up, that feels
Well, you
great.
don't have to deal with him. You
Yeah, yeah.
don't got to deal with his Englishness.
I was an
I can
emo
translate.
between maybe 14, 15, maybe even a little bit before then, all the way up until I was about 18, 19.
Who wasn't emo?
Exactly.
I
That
was
was a
emo.
big
emo.
thing.
I was not.
Bullet for
Hello?
My Valentine, My Chemical Romance, you know,
I just
all of that.
heard an ad for
Blink-182.
Emo Fest, and it was like, those are just bands I like.
Yeah,
as
they're
a
grouping
child.
it together,
just-
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that like didn't influence
Panic
your
at the
fashion.
Disco,
You
that's
didn't dress
emo?
like that
I
though.
wanted to be like Tom
I-
DeLonge, basically.
You weren't like slitting your wrists.
I wasn't slitting
Neither
my
were those
wrist, but I
kids.
was wearing like skinny jeans and like a gray hoodie and
I
being
mean,
like,
but
I'm so
no, but we
sketchy
were
and,
like wearing
sad.
American apparel and we were hipsters. That was
Yeah.
different. That's not being emo.
Was
Well, it was
Producer
pre-
X
you're,
ever emo?
You're too young, maybe.
No,
Producer X was not
a
emo.
hipster.
No.
Faux
no,
show.
he's just a cool guy. Look at him.
Yeah,
no,
he's
I
very
think
cool.
Is that
before
a
being
gun
hipsters, there was.
necklace? What's on that?
Don't identify him.
It's your name in heart.
It's your name, yeah.
Just the words, your name. Like Lewis's
No, before I think
tattoo on
Nat
the
is so
buttocks.
young she doesn't know that emo was before
Yeah,
hipster.
says your name
Well,
here.
okay.
Like
We
when
can't
you were
talk
young, you
over
were
each other.
probably a hipster. Well, then shut up.
Yeah, I was a hipster in high school for sure. I think I'm still a hipster now.
Yeah. Well, you live in the area.
So let's move on to more political stuff, as this is a political podcast. Allegedly.
Don't know anything about politics. I'm a woman.
What,
Downstream from culture, so
pretty-
we are talking about the important stuff.
immediate
That was
regret.
good. I love that.
So, what are we thinking now? What problems do we have with conservative men if we're still calling ourselves, you guys are all over the map, conservatives? What issues are we having with some of the views of the conservative males these days?
Well, I actually don't think a lot of the views on Twitter reflect that of male conservatives.
Sure, they do.
I don't think so because I think like if you're, I mean, coming from like a Christian conservative perspectives, a lot of those viewpoints that are very like anti-female, very suppressive, those are not Christian or
You think those
conservative
are-
at all.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, who are you following?
So I follow
referring
this.
to?
I don't even want to call him out because I think he's a wonderful like content creator, but I follow this conservative Christian guy on Twitter. I've watched his YouTubes for like 10 years.
Just talking
And
about you, Lewis.
Just yesterday, he's from the South. He's an African American man. He's a little, probably 40. He just tweeted yesterday that like the only marriages in 2025 are those where the woman is dominant, and that's why he's not married. And I was like, that's sad, man. That's just a brokenhearted man. And I feel like that is sort of, we see that all the time. This like right wing perspective where it's like, oh, like being married is gay, and it's like, what? Like, it's gone so far. The pendulum has swung so far to the right
That men are homosexual.
that men are
Very
like it's
true.
gay to love a woman, like, and I know that Andrew Tate is taken out of context, and I don't like want to talk about that necessarily. We can, but that's not my point. But I feel like that type of man where it's like loving a woman is gay. Like he literally said, Andrew Tate, I'll go there. Fine, I'll go there. He literally said like kissing your girl is gay. It's like, no,
It doesn't mean literally.
You're gay.
He doesn't
You're
mean
gay.
literally. He mean now you're gonna force me to defend him. He means like
Go ahead. And I
it's
don't like.
unmasculine to do it in public. But I would
But that's
disagree
not
with
what
that.
he says, though. He's saying
Yeah,
saying
but
it to
men
be
understand
to
that.
get engagement. He's like engagement farming, whatever. He wants to be like more boastful, I guess, or like
Those
crazy
guys-
on the internet so people talk about it. But maybe that's what he means. But he didn't say it. He
Yeah.
said like kissing a girl's gay, and it's like, I
But
think
those
you're
guys want you to
actually
convert
gay.
to Islam, though. Is what it comes down to. The end
Which
of the
is
day.
gay.
Women suck.
I
So
think
you
to
need to
my
control
earlier-
them. Convert to Islam.com.
To my
Yeah.
earlier point, I think a lot of what we're
Poor
seeing
Lewis.
on Twitter right now, though, is also because Twitter is monetized. And once that happened,
Yeah.
that app became
It got way
vicious.
worse.
What do you guys think? What's the first thing you see when you watch this video?
Yeah, like,
yeah, exactly.
Sydney Sweeney is mid or Margot Robbie's mid.
Yeah.
It's like it's all just bait to make
No, it's
money.
so true. Engagement
It's-
farming is so
and
out
it's
of
made
control.
the app a very miserable place. And that's
Yeah.
why I think a lot of these conversations that we're seeing that are very like male versus female are I think it's just for money.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
think
agree.
it's real. I don't think it's real.
Yeah,
Because I go to a church, everyone is conservative, everyone is obviously Christian, and men are not. A lot of women are stay-at-home moms and all that, but they don't talk about their wives like the way you see men on these apps talk about women or their wives. It's just not happening. Their wives are happy, they're content, and vice versa. So it's just not real.
I think it's just like what we're talking about with the British girls that I see on dating shows. You're saying that's not really a representation of British women in general. It's just the ones that are on TV getting views and clicks because they look crazy and they're talking crazy. And I think just we live in this culture where like the currency is outrage, and it's made the world a worse place for sure.
I think a lot of these shows, like I was mentioning earlier, like if I think at Married at First Sight and they have like whatever it's called, the recap show where they get them all together, I think if you had like a super conservative man or woman on there and just calling, you want to call this person a slut for doing that, or you want to say like, I don't agree with what you're doing or whatever, the conflict there would not only be entertaining, but it would be good for public discourse. Whereas when they're actually showing these things, and producer X knows this because he loves these shows, is that a woman will say something that's completely ridiculous, like you have to respect like me doing porn or something like that. They're just like, you can't tell a woman not to do that. You
Yeah.
can't say she can't do sex work. Sex workers are amazing. And it's like there's no pushback on that, even though you see like the African guy or whatever, he's like, I do not agree with this. Angela or whatever her name
No,
is.
it would be a lot more interesting. Is that you're saying these shows would be more interesting if they had a more diverse philosophy on
Yeah,
them.
great. You're like my whisperer. You're
Yeah,
just
I'm
getting my
reading your mind.
translations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Lewis, when we get you on one of these shows,
Not
what type of wife are
You
you
could
asking
do Love
for?
is Blind.
You should do Love is Blind.
That's cute.
The
They
UK one,
actually get
on
married
the
and
U-
they're sweet.
But on the UK show, everyone is way more intentional.
Yeah.
And more
He's just saying,
mature.
My public
And-
image.
You should
No, but
definitely
you wouldn't
go.
even have to be like you wouldn't even. If you don't, of course, fine. But I'm just saying like that show in particular is a little different than like Love Island.
Yes.
People actually get married and have.
And again,
families.
like the British show versus the American show, the people go on there with the intent to get married. They're a lot older actually, and just generally more mature.
Like The Bachelor used to be like 25 years ago.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
So what are you telling them is your perfect woman when you go on these shows, Lewis? Because we're getting you on the show.
What, you want me to do like an audition right now? No, it's not going to happen.
Not an audition. It's just like, what are you looking
DM Lewis.
Can I just,
Brackpool.
if we just circle back
Uh-oh.
to what we were
Uh-oh.
talking about there, I completely agree that there is some sort of, I don't think it's almost not organic. This rise of like the Manosphere, for example, where it's very podcast views. Ironic because we're on a podcast, but it is
Inception.
just these podcast sort of settings like whatever and all of these. And it's just very unrealistic. You're not going to speak how you would speak on a podcast to what you would do if you wanted to approach a woman at a bar, for example.
and people
it's
wouldn't
not gonna
talk to
work.
each other
And you
like
wouldn't
they
talk
do
to
on
each other.
Twitter.
What would you say
Exactly.
to Natasha if you went on one of these podcasts and she was an OnlyFans girl? How would you guide her?
What if you're the OnlyFans girl?
How would I guide her?
What would you say? When it's like, I'm just a sex worker, there's nothing wrong with that.
Why does it have to be that? Like you just pretend
well,
there's
I'd-
someone else.
Obviously, I'm trying, I understand I am a sinner and I get that, and I am. But I am trying to look at it from a faith perspective, and it's very much a case of, we're all made in the image of God. That's the standard. And if Nat was a sex worker. He's just used you as an example. I'm really sorry. I don't know why.
What kind of? No, I'm just going.
No,
What would I wear?
yeah. My approach would be, well, clearly, that kind of line of work is harmful, and you wouldn't want to see someone be put in these sorts of positions, because when you do put yourself into these positions, it's clearly masking something that's going on in your life deep down, whether it be some sort of earlier trauma. And, that's not to judge that person. That people have different ways of communicating it and different ways of trying to deal with it. We're all going through this struggle of life. That's the purpose of life, to struggle, I think. It's not something arbitrary. It's something, when you're going through life and struggling, it brings you closer to something metaphysical. And so people want to shut that away and then use something else, such as sex work or drugs or alcohol or all these things, to numb the actual traumatizing pain that someone would go through. So to recognize that, I think, in answer to that, what you're saying, I think it would just be to recognize that, you could be so much better. And, you're made in the image of God, and, you would be perverting that in a way that's is not good for yourself and for other people too. As much as it's a short-term gratification, the longevity of that is just going to be super painful. For me, the ultimate ambition really is, before I'm about to pass off into the next life or wherever this place is, heaven, hopefully, I will hopefully repent straight after this podcast. But the ultimate ambition is to be surrounded by your kids and your grandkids before you go pass off. If you're going to continue that down that line of work, it is less likely for you statistically and, socially, to be with a partner that wants to be with someone that has, and it goes for men as well. I'm not just singling out women here, slept with thousands and thousands of men or women, because it does diminish that soul binding connection between a man and a woman. And if you want to sever that, it's free will, and we're part of a liberal society now. You can do what you like, as they say, but is that good for you? Is that good for other people? Is that good for, role modeling for the younger generation? No, I don't think so. And that would be my answer.
Very nice, Lewis. Jihad, the eternal struggle.
I always think about it as a mom, like, not to be like, I'm a mom and that's my whole identity, but like, if I was to be on the whatever podcast and talking to these hooers who are redeemable.
I thought you said earlier, though, that if you want to be a hoe, then just go do that.
I think the problem with this conversation, though, is that it's always about how the women...
Oh, my God. I was just asking him about if it was a woman.
No, but the problem with the sex work industry isn't that women are in it. It's that men are paying for sex. That is why does nobody want
the clients?
Like, you got to go to the source. Like, this is the problem. Women wouldn't have this opportunity to sell their bodies for profit if men weren't disgusting.
Do you arrest the drug dealer, or do you arrest the clients of the drug dealer?
I think the drug dealer.
Yeah, women are the drug dealer in this situation.
Not
No, they're not.
Though,
They're
because
not.
men are often hosting these platforms where women are like, who owns OnlyFans?
I don't know.
I'm positive it's a man. We can Google it.
Are they forced to engage in this?
Of course not. But it's
No,
like
but
men are
to Lewis's
profiting
point,
off of men's degeneracy
But
and
to
women's
Lewis's point, like,
degeneracy as
a lot
well.
of these women are vulnerable. You don't know what's happened to them to make them choose this path. There's definitely trauma there. There's probably sexual abuse, some sort of, like, something has pushed them into this, and it's sad that it's become acceptable in society, but it's even worse that it's profitable. Like, why we got to get rid of it at the source.
What about that girl who's like an OnlyFans model who's gonna have sex with like 1,000 men?
Oh,
in
Bonnie Blue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the other one, Lily Phillips.
Yeah.
No, we've all seen them,
'cause
but like
the most famous.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know
I
her
can't
name.
remember if
How
I think it
come
was
you knew her
actually
name?
Lily Phillips
I've
who
been
said
going for so long not even to bring up that woman's name.
that's
Like,
fair,
it's
but
a
like
But
the
he
other
knew
one,
her name.
Lily Phillips, they
Interesting.
asked
Yeah.
her specifically. It was trigonometry. They asked her if she had suffered abuse, and she was like, no, I had nothing like that. I just love fucking. And
she's not going to admit that, though.
realistic. Fair enough, it's not good
internal.
for the brand. It certainly doesn't make her seem more shiny. But some women are like,
Pokemon turns into a.
what I was going to say before is like, as a mom, if I was going to talk to those girls, I would just be like, imagine you're your own mom. What would you think about yourself? Like, what would you think about your daughter?
Sure.
Whoring herself out? Like, you would be like, please don't. Like, please, my God, don't. Like, love yourself like God loves you. Like, that's what you would say to your daughter.
Yeah,
So, like, that's what I would say to them personally.
My mom's cool. She lets me do that.
My mom's way too cool.
Also, what if you hate your mom?
That's an excuse they would use.
Well, just to add to that, I think the majority of people don't really know that they're in a traumatized state. I think that's another thing because it manifests in different ways. It could be something that has happened. Maybe, I don't know, something that happened earlier on in their childhood that they don't even remember. You know, that's another case. Obviously, there is accountability for that, but a lot of the time, when we go back to the social ladder, because it's acceptable, I think I get what. As much as I'm bashing like the Manosphere lot and the other end of the spectrum with like the feminism lot, they are trying to get a hold of the discourse and change the culture so it becomes either acceptable or unacceptable to do a certain action. And I think if you change the culture, you do change the politics, you change the outlook on people. You know, fast speed internet made it way more accessible. If you go back, it was magazines. If you go back from there, it was completely taboo. It was a very taboo thing for a young man in like the 60s, pre-sexual revolution, to own something that was illicit or lewd or whatever. But I think when you go back to the source, you do find it's the sexual revolution. It's
feminism.
Feminism, but it's not. Feminism is not just obviously of women as well. You know, there are men that want to use
What'd
women.
she say?
I said, don't. We touched feet.
Ah, okay.
Don't do that.
I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
I do think legitimately some of those guys are trying to convert young men to Islam. I mean, it's pretty clear.
Well, why would I listen to a Muslim cleric?
That's-
Gone OnlyFans guy. You know,
Who's a pimp?
Not just him, but like a lot of the younger guys too.
I never actually thought of it that way though, because I always wonder like, what the fuck is he doing? But you're right. He's converting people to Islam.
Yeah, it's true, and it's not the only reason they're anti like Israel, but like that's part of it. It's like, look how cool Islam actually is, guys. A lot of teenage boys, though, as long as they pick up like a video game or a book, they're pretty aware of the history of Islam, which is not the funnest history in the world.
No,
it's not good.
The thing is, when you talk about vice grips, when you talk about like reasons and how it's so profitable and things like that, I'm going to make a religious argument here. It leads back to sin, because sin isn't something that's, you feel bad when you do it and you're aware of it. If you're aware of sin, for atheists, they probably don't. They just see it as, morality is in a different viewpoint. It's more environment. It's more, your peers. It's passed down, whereas original sin or sin is completely different from a religious perspective. But when you capitalize on desires of the flesh, it makes it easier for things to become profitable. That's why pornography is is one of the biggest industries in hyper capitalism, I'd say. In that sort of realm, in business, it's profiting on weaknesses because we're all weak to sin. And everyone has their own vice grip, whether it be drugs, alcohol, porn, whether it be all sorts of things. But now it's changing the culture from the 60s, from the sexual revolution, from that to be more acceptable. You could even make an argument, Portland, Oregon, having places where you can just shoot up heroin, instead of trying to treat the cause, just go and do it until you get sick of it. It's
We've had that here for a
allowing.
long time.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Safe
Wow.
injection sites.
I know Glasgow in Scotland are trying to open something up like that, but
it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of that and a bit of
Not
short.
Glasgow, love.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
But my point is sin. It goes back to sin and because it's so desirable. If sin wasn't desirable, we wouldn't be doing this. Not doing this, as in like, having vice grips. It's designed to pull you back into the world. And so, I have sympathy, of course, for people that have vice grips. We all have our own vice grips. I do as well. But at the same time, if you're aware of it,
He means vices. He's doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Let's all share
what is
our
your vice?
vices.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead, Lewis.
No, I'm not sharing.
I'll share
He
mine.
doesn't want to say his
Food.
vice. What is it?
Food.
Oh God, I
Love
love food.
food.
I love food and video games.
I love food. And
Yeah.
TV. TV is a big vice for
I
me.
wanted to ask you guys a more generic question. If at all, was there ever a point where you started being more not even self-conscious, but conscious about what you're posting on social media? Was there a point ever where you're just like, I need to be more careful now?
Well, first of all, I had a dream 2 nights ago that they were trying to lock me up for something I said on social media, and I had to like defend myself because I was just listening to this guy in the UK who's gonna go to
Lewis,
prison for
by
like
any chance?
18 months for that thing he said about the migrants when the girl was raped in the migrant hotel, and he said let's go and beat them up or whatever. And that guy on social,
Right.
he's gonna go to prison. He was like sentenced to a prison term for inciting violence. And I've seen things in the UK, and I'm sure you know way more about this than I do, but like where there are things said on social media that are not incitement to violence that are being taken as crimes. And I'm like, yes, exactly, non-hate incidences. And I'm like, I should probably shut up because Canada is very similar to the UK in many ways. We have a liberal government right now. They could tomorrow just be like, yeah, we're starting to investigate all these non-crime incidences, and you're one of them because you said this about these people and yada yada. I've made some risky comments online, and also the other thing is like when I became a Christian, I was like, oh, I should probably just try and be loving instead of clapping back at people on the internet and having a hot take and like. I fail at it every day. Like yesterday, I was like,
I don't think you can retroactively go back and look for crimes like that.
you
though.
might. I don't know. These people
yeah.
are crazy. Like it freaks me out thinking like all the things I've said online.
What have you said?
Just, like,
all
racist
sorts of
stuff, whatever.
Racist stuff, whatever. Like, and especially about the lockdowns, like all of that could come back to haunt me because maybe I was creating an unsafe environment
You were.
health wise.
I would
was.
say I
She
don't.
was.
I'm not concerned about being arrested for the things I've maybe said that, I don't know.
When was
Are-
the point you started wanting
Okay,
to put out
so
an image out there or any?
For
if
me,
ever?
like, I think like after the last publication that I worked for closed down, I started to think about like, are the things that we're saying on Twitter actually doing anything fruitful, especially as Christians, because there is wisdom in silence. The Bible always talks about how the dumbest, most foolish people are the people who have the most to say. And so like the last, I don't know, it's almost been a year, I guess. I really haven't said much on Twitter. It's just because I don't want to add to the noise.
No, you're absolutely correct
And
not to.
like, what is anyone on Twitter doing?
Yeah.
Nobody is actually influencing
I get
anyone to do
so
anything.
upset arguing with people, especially like about Christianity. I won't really argue with people about stupid stuff, but about God I will. And even then I'm like, this is not fruitful. Like, is this fruitful? Am I helping convert these people? Am I helping bring them to heaven? Because that's really all I should be trying to do is make myself better and help other people get into heaven too. And it's like, am I doing that? Or am I just trying to have a hot take on Twitter to get likes? Like that's probably another one of my vices. It's like, I want to have a funny moment right now. And I'm saying stuff and it's like, this isn't helping anyone. This is just,
Yeah.
even if I don't go to prison for it, maybe that's an extreme example, but it's like, is this bringing my soul closer to God? No.
I had a huge problem with something Nat said the other day.
What? Pray tell.
I believe she said everyone on Friends was poor. Is that what you said?
The show, Friends?
Yeah.
No, I said that everyone is more relatable because they're not rich kids. Do you notice that every TV show now is like about rich people?
They were rich. What do you mean?
No,
the
they
people on
weren't.
Friends.
Rachel
Okay.
Green was rich, but she got cut off by her dad.
Yeah,
The rest of
no
She
them
still
weren't
worked
rich.
at like a fashion, like a
Later, she started in retail, then she worked her way up as
Money
the
was a
season
big
almost ended.
point of contention
one
for them.
season. Ross,
It's like 10 years.
paleontologist at a museum.
Yeah, but that's a
Chandler-
career. He's not a rich kid.
He's rich as shit. What are you talking about?
How is he rich as shit?
But they
Like
were
obviously
struggling.
everyone on TV is
They
too
were
rich.
not
Like why does
struggling.
Lorelai Gilmore own a 3-bedroom house in a walkable community? That doesn't make any sense.
'Cause
Okay,
she
wait, can
owned
you just
this
note?
too.
Can you just
She-
note the comparison to shows today? Everybody on TV is a rich kid.
She owned a bed and breakfast.
No, she didn't. That was like the
She bought it
latest
later.
season.
That was like the end. You don't
She
know
worked
TV.
at
He
an
doesn't
inn.
watch TV.
She was a single mom who worked
You
at
are
an
sp-
inn.
you-
Chandler also was in accounting, basically.
No,
Joey,
he
like,
wasn't.
it took Joey
Yeah,
like 2
but they were
seasons to
in
become
their
an actor.
30s and had
He
roommates.
lost his job as an
That's not a
actor.
rich
He was
kid.
in a coma.
He was
They
on a
killed him on the
soap
show.
opera.
Yeah.
He
They
still made
killed him.
tons of money.
For like 5 minutes, he's an actor.
Their apartment was rent controlled and
Guys,
inherited.
they're always
they
talking
were
about
rich.
money. They're
They
always
were
talking
rich.
about
All they
it.
ever
They-
did was go to a coffee shop. They were poor.
Every single day. Yeah,
That's
you don't.
all they did.
You don't go to a coffee shop every day if you're poor. You make coffee at home.
No. A
In
lot of people.
Manhattan. Manhattan.
Yes. Everything on TV is going to be more glamorous than it is
But
in real
that
life.
show
But
is
those
more
women,
relatable.
Lewis.
They're
Because
not
they,
rich kids.
they were people. The
They were
characters
rich.
in the show had like real human struggles. It was
Monica and
different.
Ross were rich growing up too. Their father has a Porsche. Had a Porsche that they had since they were kids.
Yeah, but that was like a special thing. It wasn't just his car that he drove around. It was like
Yeah,
his
he
special.
was
You don't
like
just
Kim
buy a
Kardashian.
Porsche if your family's poor.
Okay, they're not poor,
Thank you.
maybe, but they weren't rich kids.
Thank you, Catherine.
They were not rich kids. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Several of them were. Continue.
You actually were the.
Yeah, I did bring
It's
that
on
up.
you.
It's a great show.
Lewis, was there a point where you started looking at your social media and started being like, should I be posting exactly what I think? Back in the
Well, I
Disney,
think
whenever that
I've only
started.
been doing this for 4 years, so like I'm a baby still. But I think I remember when I started making videos and decided, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give journalism and commentating a go. I remember sitting at my desk looking at Facebook, and it was around the times where people or activists were going back and finding your old posts and then like dobbing you in or screenshotting them and putting them online
So
because
dobbing
Twitter was
you in?
dobbing you in,
Okay.
dobbing you in, yeah, snitching, and yeah. And so I think I sat there and made a conscious decision to delete Facebook because I can't remember what I'd posted, but I didn't want to take the risk. I've watched over and over again people, famous commentators that we all know and we used to respect or still respect now, have their rise and then have their major fall because they said something stupid online or they didn't think or they got drunk and then tweeted or they done something and it revealed a side to them that, yeah, fine, that might be the case, but it's done in a way that's just not, it doesn't help and it doesn't help the fruit of the conversation. And so I have consciously since starting have been like, I actually am part of a group now where we're very good friends, but I've become the guy that's like, is this okay? Is this okay? And I've become that kind of guy, but I've gotten rid of that now. I'm a bit more confident in what I have to say. But, you know, it's scary because it's a completely different, it's the Wild West.
Imagine being a teenager right
And
now.
that's why
and having
oh my
teenage
days.
thoughts. And again, Joe
then just
Rogan has talked
posting
about
them
this.
out.
Like, if he was 15, he says all the time, I'd be like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
come up
yeah.
to my house, I'll beat the shit out of you. Like, thank
he's
God he's 50.
Italian.
But like, we've all, like, when I was 15, I didn't have social media.
Yeah.
I was just talking smack with my friends and thank
On MSN?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, I went through phases where I thought certain things were like, making fun of fat people or whatever it is, like just like making really lowbrow jokes.
Well, it's like the way you speak in bars is not the same as what
Yeah,
we're speaking
exactly.
now. And I think it's a bit more natural now that we're speaking about this. But, you know, the way that you would go to a pub or a bar and have a drink and just chat is completely not the same. But people want to hear that, but it comes with risk. And I think if you're representing either a company or, you know, if you're part of an organization or you have a platform, I guess, for people, you're technically working for others. You're working for your audience. And so sometimes your audience, you can obviously, it's up to you what you post, of course, but also your audience is there to kind of keep you in check, not in like a gatekeeping way, but more in sort of, well, we've followed you because, you know, you present this way. And sometimes I don't want to hear you going on Twitter and, you know, having a drink and start talking smack to people and start doing this and that. So, yeah, I think from the get-go, I've always been extremely conscious and I've seen people get cancelled, although getting cancelled now is great for PR.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, please cancel me.
It went so one way that it's now gone the opposite way. You kind of want to get cancelled to get PR. We've known a few that we've either worked with or been in contact with that have been cancelled and blown up because of a clip that they've said that they've been very based and it's gotten them their platform.
Guys,
and
remember
it's-
Milo?
Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos
Like,
is a big
what
example.
the heck happened? Like, I
Still
remember,
around.
of course, but he just came back. He just came back like recently because he was hard canceled way back in the day when you were actually canceled for good. And I remember I was a huge fan of his, and then he got canceled, and I just kind of like fell off and did my own thing. But I remember being like, what happened to Milo?
As you guys can imagine, I've always been this way. So it wasn't really a hard transition for me to speak publicly.
Because you come from a normal, because this isn't normal, let's be honest, getting paid to just talk about stuff.
What I'm
It's not
saying is I've
normal.
always
So
been
when-
abrasive.
Well, no, so before then, you know, you'd have normal job. You speak to the average person why they're scared to talk about certain subjects like politics or culture is because they have like a job that it's become so hostile to talk about everyday things that you would do either down the pub. They wait until they get to a safe space to talk about it. But the hard transition was being in that environment where you were browbeaten for talking about immigration, you were browbeaten for talking about cultural issues or social issues. And you make that huge transition over. I know it's a bit of a curse word, but you make that huge transition over, and you have to make a conscious decision. Right, am I in this 2 feet in? Because I can't get a normal job now for what I do.
Exactly.
And I'm sure
think
you
we all
guys
We've
think
are
all
the
about
same.
steward ourselves. None
Yeah.
of us can get a normal job
No,
now,
you can't,
unfortunately.
and
Yeah.
because that's the hostile working environment. So it's that real jump that makes you consciously think, okay, you're either going to go fully in with what you're going to say, you're going to speak like you do on bars, Gavin McInnes style, or are you going to still be you, but you create it in a way that's professional? You know, I try not to swear. I've only sworn once on Twitter, and that was after Charlie Kirk died, and I quoted my own prime minister. You know, and that's it. But you set your own boundaries, not to like diminish who you are, but to get your point out there without being necessarily either crass or.
I can't do that.
But for me, it's my
Yeah,
kind
I
of
understand.
thing. Yeah.
It's your truth.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Your truth.
But no, like, you know, my brother, shout out brother Pat, once
Shout out.
once told me, you know, Andrew, I said, do you think am I being too much? And he said,
Yes.
and he's a very religious man. He's much more calm than I am. We look similar. And he said, you know, Andrew, some people take the scenic route and it's very nice and it works for them. But, you know, there's another road that exists and it's it might be faster, but it comes with a lot of bumps and a lot of crumbling infrastructure around it.
Always
And
take that road.
and you are taking that road and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. And, you know, I'm younger than him, more handsome. So I can see why he
Wow, I can't even imagine. I don't know.
think that's a compliment.
Yeah, maybe.
But unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, I think we are out of time. I want to give Nat the final rant time since she has been told she can't speak. She's been oppressed for much of this podcast, I think.
True.
So whatever you want to say,
Whatever I want to say.
you look right into the camera and you say it.
I need a job.
She's a really good writer.
I'm not kidding. I need a job. Please, somebody hire
Well,
me.
that took a turn.
Thank you.
Mystery producer X, you got any jobs for her? He wants you to work at Acura. With the dealership or... Okay. You could sell cars.
I don't want to.
Guys, I just want to talk about one thing quickly about myself. Because when we
Go
were
ahead.
on Tim Pool, when I was heavily pregnant, they introduced us and they're like, who are you? And I was like, I'm a mom. And it's
There's
been
somebody at the
haunting
door?
me since then. I'm like, I like completely threw myself under the bus. I'm just like, I'm a mom. And that's everyone was like, and Nat was like, I'm on the Shallow End, which is our podcast together, Nat and Kat at Shallow End. And you did all this like plugging. And I'm just like, I'm a mom. So I just want to like,
That's nice though.
no, it was embarrassing.
quite nice,
Why would
actually.
anyone want to watch a podcast with just a mom? Like it was just such an
that's
embarrassment.
a genre.
I just want to like
More than most.
It's already a genre.
plug myself. I'm
There's-
more than just a mom. I
I've
have
wr-
a sick Twitter and it's Crosberry, okay? Crosberry.
I'm pretty sure I wrote an article referencing Ronda Rousey saying stupid things on a podcast that was literally just like, I'm a mother, here's my podcast. And it was like some sort of Eastern European like you whose just thing was like, I'm a mother. And she had like 6 million subscribers. So there's a
Okay, I just
genre
felt like I
there.
sold myself short there. And I'm not going to do that again.
It was
I'm gonna
very
plug
nerve-wracking.
myself.
Just go all in.
Crosberry,
And the
Crosberry,
smell, there were
Crosberry.
sulfates in the air. You could smell it.
Just go all in for Poland. Start wearing Polish
I'm
flags
not
and stuff.
Polish. I was born here.
Whatever.
My parents were born.
Are you actually Italian or is that your husband's name only?
I am not Italian. I am 2.4% Middle Eastern.
What does that mean? Read between the lines,
Look at it.
people.
Look at her.
Look at me.
2.4%.
She makes a beautiful falafel.
And Lewis is what? Just English, I guess.
He's not just English. He's so much more, Andrew. He's
not.
so much more.
He's not.
I've not taken a test.
What am I, Lewis?
You are French, and you are
Spanish.
Yes.
Chapadosa.
Whoa, I heard that, I think. I am almost completely French, but my descent is Basquian. So, yes, correct.
There you go.
Like the cheesecake.
Is that a type of cheesecake? I'd be
The
interested.
burnt one. Oh,
That sounds delicious.
My favorite dessert.
French Basque, everybody, look it up. In fact, one time last year, this is the last thing I'll say, I put into Grok, what does a typical guy from Basque look like? And it was me. It was just like different. Me and my cousin is what it looked like. Very handsome.
There's a joke
Olive
somewhere.
Yeah,
tone,
yeah.
There's a
olive
joke.
skin tone. I get tans just from the window.
Nice. That's why
He's
you
a
don't go
winter.
out.
That's not why I
he's
don't go out.
he's like an olive
A
winter.
vampire.
Should we quickly do our color seasons?
Oh yes.
What does that mean?
It's the colors that you look harmonious in.
All
that
right,
make you
I'm
glow.
gonna rapid
Cut
fire.
this out.
Soft autumn. You probably a spring. I need to do.
What does that mean?
Need to do the
It
metal.
means you can wear
metal
bright,
test.
warm colors.
But I need to see you in
What is
gold or
bright
silver.
and warm?
Shut up.
Well, I
I'm
can't
a
help
bright
you anymore.
spring, okay? And this gentleman here is deaf in autumn. I think true autumn.
Yeah,
This isn't a gay
Producer
cast.
X can wear whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants.
Because he's
Gorgeous.
beautiful.
He's got to only wear car things. That might identify him too much.
Yeah.
He can only wear rainbows. He's wearing
he's
rainbows
heavily,
right now.
heavily
He's
gay.
gay.
He's gay.
Okay.
He's super gay.
Thank you for watching Unauthorized Opinions at Shit Studio 6 because their stuff was effed up. We thank Kat Kroz, rest of her name
Crosberry.
unknown. Nat Biase, girls in the short forms, right?
What?
Girls
Cat
in their
and Nat.
short
No,
forms.
it just sounds good. Cat and Nat.
It's Natasha.
Nat and Kat.
Not
Kit Kat
Natalie. If you
bars.
call me Natalie, I'll kill you.
I called her
You
Natalie
could
once.
pass off as Russian.
I'm not Russian.
Natasha.
I'm 2.4%
Natasha.
Middle Eastern.
Natasha.
They say I'm Middle Eastern, and Lewis Brackpool on Twitter. He's encroaching 100,000 subscribers.
That's huge, Lewis. That's crazy.
Especially for a British guy. I mean, that's really
Yeah.
quite unheard of.
What if they knew the
like,
real
And you're not
Lewis?
even trying to convert people to Islam.
You guys ever think about that? What if they knew the
Congratulations.
real
Thank you.
Lewis?
What's that?
What if they knew the real Lewis?
That's true. Yeah. Like at least 60,000 unfollowed.
oh my word! All right, like, share, and subscribe. Follow everybody.
Crosberry.
You know what it is.